The sunlight poured through the cafe windows like liquid gold, warming everything it touched, except the fear clenched tightly inside Aaron Blake's chest. He hadn't been on a date in 4 years. 4 long years of packing school lunches at sunrise, folding tiny superhero pajamas at midnight, and pretending he wasn't lonely when the house fell silent after his son drifted to sleep. Today was supposed to be different. Today was supposed to feel like hope. But just when the afternoon seemed perfect, she looked at him with trembling honesty and said, "You can leave. I'm a single mom. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Whisper Tales 3. Your support keeps stories like this alive and reaching hearts that need them most." Aaron had chosen the cafe carefully, a quiet daytime spot overlooking a park where children's laughter drifted through the open doors. He arrived early, smoothing the wrinkles from his pale blue shirt, rehearsing polite conversation in his mind. His 8-year-old son, Milo, had hugged him before he left and whispered, "Don't be nervous, Dad. Just be yourself." Those simple words echoed in his ears as he waited. When Sienna Cole walked in, the world seemed to pause. She carried herself with gentle confidence, her auburn hair catching the sunlight, her eyes holding both warmth and something deeper, something guarded. She wore a soft yellow dress that matched the brightness of the afternoon, and when she smiled at him, Aaron felt a knot inside him loosen. Their first handshake felt less like strangers meeting and more like 2 tired souls recognizing each other. The conversation flowed effortlessly at first. They talked about work, favorite books, childhood memories. Aaron found himself laughing in a way he hadn't since before his wife passed away. He told Sienna about his job restoring antique furniture, how he loved giving old things new life. She listened with genuine interest, leaning forward slightly, as though every word mattered. In return, she shared her passion for baking, and how she once dreamed of opening a small pastry shop filled with sunlight and fresh bread. The afternoon air carried the scent of coffee and blooming flowers from outside. Children ran across the grass in the park, their carefree energy filling the background. For a brief moment, Aaron allowed himself to imagine bringing Milo here, sitting at one of these tables with someone who didn't see his fatherhood as baggage, but as something beautiful. Then the conversation shifted. Sienna's smile faltered slightly when Aaron mentioned his son. He braced himself, expecting the polite nod he had seen before, the subtle retreat in interest. Instead, her eyes softened. She grew quiet, fingers tracing the rim of her cup as if gathering courage. The sunlight that had felt so warm now felt almost exposing. She took a steady breath and told him he could leave if he wanted, because she was a single mom. The words hung between them like fragile glass. Aaron felt his heart drop, not from disappointment, but from recognition. In her voice he heard the same fear he carried into this cafe, the fear of being too much, the fear of being seen as complicated, the fear of watching someone walk away the moment reality entered the room. He didn't see a burden sitting across from him. He saw a woman who had fought battles he understood all too well. Sienna explained that she had a 6-year-old daughter named Ivy. She spoke of sleepless nights, of working double shifts to keep up with bills, of attending school events alone while pretending she didn't notice other parents arriving in pairs. She admitted that dating felt selfish sometimes, like she was stealing time from her child. There was no self-pity in her voice, just raw honesty. Aaron's mind drifted briefly to Milo waiting at home, to the drawings taped on the fridge, to the quiet ache he felt when school events ended and the other families lingered together. He remembered the first time he introduced himself as both mother and father on a school form. The pen had trembled in his hand. He looked back at Sienna and saw something powerful, resilience. Instead of standing up, instead of offering the polite excuse she seemed prepared for, Aaron leaned forward. He told her that he understood more than she might think. He shared how he had learned to braid Milo's class project threads because he didn't want his son to feel different. He described how he once burned pancakes on purpose so Milo wouldn't feel embarrassed about his own kitchen disasters. He confessed that loneliness sometimes crept in during the quiet afternoons when he wished someone would simply ask how he was holding up. As he spoke, the tension in Sienna's shoulders slowly melted. The guarded expression in her eyes shifted into something brighter, relief. They weren't two broken people apologizing for their lives. They were two warriors comparing scars. The afternoon light deepened, casting longer shadows across the park. The world around them continued its rhythm, unaware that something extraordinary was happening at that small corner table. They began to talk not just about themselves, but about their children. About bedtime stories and scraped knees, about dreams for the future, about the kind of love they hoped their children would grow up believing in. For the first time in years, Aaron didn't feel like he had to choose between being a father and being a man deserving of companionship. He realized that Sienna wasn't asking him to leave, she was giving him the freedom to stay. And he chose to stay. They decided to walk through the park before parting ways. The sun was still high, painting everything in golden hues. As they strolled past the playground, Aaron watched children chase each other with reckless joy. He imagined Milo and Ivy laughing together, two little lives intersecting in the most unexpected way. There were no grand declarations, no dramatic promises, just two people walking side by side, lighter than when they had arrived. When they reached the edge of the park, Sienna looked at him with cautious hope. In that look was a silent question. "Is this too complicated for you?" Aaron smiled in a way that reached his eyes. He told her that complicated didn't scare him anymore. Raising a child alone had already taught him that love isn't simple, but it's worth it. They parted with plans to meet again, this time with their children. That evening, when Aaron returned home, Milo ran into his arms and asked how it went. Aaron lifted his son high, laughter filling the hallway, and said that sometimes the best surprises come when you least expect them. Later, as he tucked Milo into bed, he realized something profound. He hadn't been searching for someone to complete his life. He had been searching for someone who understood it. And that afternoon, under the bright daylight, he had found the possibility of that understanding. If this story touched your heart, if you believe that love can grow from shared struggles, and that single parents deserve second chances, please like, share, and comment below. Your engagement helps these stories reach others who may be waiting for hope. Before we end, tell us in the comments, do you believe two single parents can build something even stronger together? Because sometimes when someone says you can leave, what they're really asking is whether you're brave enough to stay.